Hi, good evening, everybody. Good evening, our beautiful people. Good evening, amazing wealth builders. I believe you're doing very fine today, and I believe you had a very beautiful day. Today is Tuesday. We actually moved our training from Friday to Tuesday again because we observed that Friday is not convenient for a lot of people. So today, on a Tuesday night, we are here once again to rub minds together and to build wealth together. Remember that wealth is built in community. That's why we are so happy bringing here this community that are consistently building wealth together. At Latera, we are raising a community of wealthy people. And you know what they say? You cannot study wealth and not be wealthy. You went to school for how many years of if you had studied medicine, you are for 5 years, 6 years, you're going to become a doctor. If you are to study economy, you are to become an economist. But this time around, you're not just studying any other professional course, you're studying wealth. And there is no way you will study wealth and not be wealthy. So, this is why these trainings are very, very important. If you're here already, I would want to, see your comments in the comment section. Just write your name and where you're joining us from, write your name and where you're joining us from. I want to recognize you and also welcome you specially. Just 3 days ago on Friday, we had a very wonderful and very impactful section with our Benedict, with our MD Benedict Obiajulu, where he was talking about billable activities that we're supposed to do and non-billable activities. And he also mentioned that when you are working on building wealth, you have to make sure that your billable activities will take 70%, while non-billable activities are going to take 30%. I don't want to take much of our time. I believe if you're here already, please, I want you to put down your name and where you're joining us from as we make welcome our Ebo MD this night on a Tuesday night like this to rub minds again together. Thank you so much, sir. We welcome you specially.
Yeah, welcome everyone. How are we doing today? And
Doing very great.
today it's a good day. Okay, Dr. Joy is here. So if you're here, can you kindly comment on the chat box and let us know where you're coming from, where you're watching from, so that I can also feed off your energy. It's a beautiful Tuesday evening, and I've had a fantastic day. And I hope you have, right? I hope you have. Okay, so today we're going to run quickly and get a lot of things going for us, right? We're going to get a lot of things going for us. Winifred is here, Paul is here, Justice is here, and a lot of us are here. Esther is here. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, the beauty of tech is that you can be anywhere and you can be seeing me and you can be learning and you can be growing. Because the beauty of learning is that nobody can take it from you, but also the value that what you have learned is useful is that you can put it to work and you can use it to create a better life. So, welcome everyone. It's a beautiful Tuesday. Remember to share the link and remember to share the link. Remember to share the link. The more that is one way. That is one surest way you can help your friend because someone with a cleaner mind, someone with a better knowledge can give you better advice, right? The person can show you a better pathway. The person can be purged enough and can ascend to the level that you can do business with the person. So whatever is your enemy, you should be sharing that link. Don't forget that because that is one way you can help yourself. Because we always know that the best investment is in humans, and after that, the best investment is on it. So as we move today, I want us to look at three critical things. Our trainings today, since it's our first time swiping back to our Tuesday sections, we're going to be short, but I want to enjoy this section, and I also want you to enjoy it. Okay. So today we're going to look at three core components of what makes somebody a top performer. We have been looking at top performer once every month for the past 3 months. It's a conscious effort because you know when we have spaced learning, we are able to create a critical advancement. When the learning is spaced, you create critical advancement in the subject matter. So welcome everyone, welcome everyone, and I want to know, is anyone here that was in the last Tuesday section and were you able to pick something from that section? Last Friday, it was just this Friday. I hope you picked something. Have you been able to start watching your activities to know which side of the bracket does it fall? Does it fall into the bracket of billable activities or does it fall into the bracket of non-billable activities? Where are you currently focusing on? I want to know because today we're trying to know what makes top salespeople, what makes the 1% of the 1%, what makes top performers, what makes champions champions. The last time we were celebrating some persons that were the champions for the month of October, and there are people that you always see their faces on their every monthly. Why do they always show up? So we want to know now. And how do people sell what it is as though it is not? Yeah, you had me right. So invariably, one of the ways that top performers become top performers, there are basically three ways we'll x-ray in the next 30 minutes, and we'll take it a rush. And one of them is people that sell land or people that sell a product don't scale. Hello, people that sell a product, they don't scale. Now, what people should be selling, what that 1% is basically selling, is what the buyer can become and what the product can become. Okay. Do you get what I'm just saying? Now, so, the people that are selling, we know that the best salesmen are pastors and politicians, right? And then, so if a pastor, what is a pastor selling? He's selling, accept Jesus Christ, and the religious leaders. Every religious leader is one of the best salespeople, right? And so they're selling you. That's why people can be religious extremists and the rest of them. And but what is being sold is sold that if you accept Christ, if you accept this religion, if you accept this other religion, you become a different person. Is it not true? You become a different person. So invariably, so who you will become, that's why you say if you sell landlordship, you will sell more than the person that is selling land. You're just selling a product, right? And then if you're selling, I'm selling the center of the city. This place is outskirts, but it's where people are going to. Oh, sorry for that. Right. Um, so hope you can hear me now. So if somewhere it's outskirt, right? And then you know that, and you're saying this is where the city is growing to, this is where the city is moving to, this is where development is going to be in 5 years, this is going to be the city center in 2 years or in 3 years. So you're selling a future narrative. Did you get it? And someone else is selling, this is an outskirt of the town, that is what he's selling. He's only selling is 15 minutes from the airport. It's 10 minutes from the airport. He's 5 minutes from ShopRite. That's what he's selling. Another person is selling, this is the future, this is where people are going. Take your position before the people come. That's a different narrative. Does this make sense? And then the other person is saying, you can move status. You can change ship from tenant to landlordship. Do you not get it? That you see the similarity between the Christian and the unbeliever, between the person that doesn't believe in, they said, some religion will call it, I can't remember the name, just degrading name that if you don't believe in them, right? So stop land sellers, they don't sell land. Yes, you always know that. What do they sell? They sell what the land will become and who the buyer becomes by owning it. So, what are you really selling? If you're constantly pushing the narrative of land, if you're constantly pushing, not understanding the nitty-gritty of the product and what the product can do, the two transformation it can cause, the transformation of the promise it's to deliver, the future narrative, and who the owner becomes by owning it. You are not ready to step into the 1%. Okay? Now, so invariably, the goal here is to sell privilege, positioning, and future power. I want to say it. The goal is to sell positioning, privilege, and future power. So you can call it the 4 P's, right? Privilege, positioning, and what? And future power. That is the goal here. That is the goal. That is the goal. That is the goal. Don't forget the goal. So your goal is to paint the picture, because remember, humans are emotional being, but they logifies, right? So people will buy on emotional reasons and logify. They will bring logics to tell you why they are buying. But they made their decision based on emotions. So if you can paint the picture and you can sell the picture of what this place is going to look like 5 years, 10 years, 4 years, 3 years, 20 years from now, what these cash flow products can be able to derive you in 5 years. Now we're talking. Then you anchor that with infrastructure, the roads, how the economy would have changed, the demographics. And then you tell them that the lines, like one of my best lines in real estate is find out where the people are moving to buy the land before they get there, because it brings the adopter mindset. Yes, the adopter, the early adopter. Because now you're not selling positioning, you're selling privilege, and you're selling power. So I call it the 4 P's: privilege, positioning, and future power. So it's more like you're letting you always know that you're not. So when people understand the nitty gritty of what it is, when they understand the nitty gritty of what it is, and what is going to be like, the personally, there's a current place we are currently acquiring. And why are we acquiring it? Because we know what the state government has proposed for the area is a good is a good master plan. And but you know what? When you come there, everywhere looks 100% bushes, right? But you know what? The funny thing. The funny thing is that we know we're taking our position. We know we're not buying land. We know we're locking in the seat at the table of Asaba next wave of urban expansion. And that should be the message you sell, meaning that you must sell things that have the criteria to deliver this. Because if not, it becomes a scam. So they must have they must have the capacity. The operations department of what you're selling must have the capacity to deliver on what the marketing department is selling. I hope I'm not confusing us, but I hope we get it. Because those that take position now, as we're taking position in those new GRAs that have been marked out by the government, you know what? We're the people that people will negotiate with tomorrow. So we already know. So we're now getting them in 10 plots, 20 plots, and we're keeping them, right? Because we're taking positioning so that tomorrow other people will negotiate with us. Maybe at times 10 or times 20 of what we got them for today. And that should be what you sell. So to us, it's not land we're buying. We're buying privilege. We're trading information, right? So it removes price resistance. One of the things it does is it removes price resistance. If you're selling a future, it removes price resistance, because you know the future of every real estate transaction is up. Yes, the future is up. The future is up. You should always know that the future is always up. So it will remove price resistance, because now you're selling status, right? Who you will become by owning this place, who you will become by owning this courtyard, who you will become by owning this Obasinachi resort, who you will become by owning Obasinachi golf, right? Who you will become. And then the kind of developments that are coming here and the kind of master plan that is in place that has been approved and the rest of them. You get it? Then it creates urgency. And thirdly, it gives buyer identity upgrade, just like status. So always remember to use this. Always remember to use this. Sell the future value narrative. Sell the future. Number one, remember what I said is number one. I'm repeating it. Sell the future value narrative, not just land. And you shift two things, and it's about two things mainly. One, who the buyer becomes by owning it, and what the land will become. Remember, from unbeliever to Christian, right? Remember that. So, and then the second thing you also know is, and that is why you must always sell value before you start talking of price, and then win before price. You must win before the price. What I mean is, don't go ahead to push price in front. Don't go ahead to push price in front. Control the frame, control the discussion, control it to be able to have gotten interest and then get committed interest. When you get interest, is tell me more. Committed interest is I want to know how can I get a part of this. The interest is trying to become committed. You so one of the things being 1% of top sales people, one of the things that that neutralizes other things away is not letting the buyer evaluate you. Now, because most times, you know how you feel when um okay, you know how you feel when you're talking to someone and the person is posing as an advisor, right? Maybe you went to meet a therapist, or you went to meet, we don't have much therapists in our country. So let me use something that we can relate to. Maybe you want to seek counsel from your pastor. So he's giving you marriage counseling, or you want to see a financial coach, is giving you financial counseling. You want to see, now, see yourself, don't see yourself as a realtor, see yourself as an advisor. As an advisor. Always know that. See yourself as an advisor. So if you have written any place where you wrote your biography and you're, oh, I'm a real estate, I'm a realtor, I'm a celebrity realtor, I am this. No, take it out. Let people see you as an advisor, not salespeople. Remember, nobody likes salespeople. And the lowest people on the rank have sales in their name. Why the top salespeople answer names like Bishop, MD, CEO, what else do they answer? Director. You get it. But these guys are the top salespeople in the organization. But the low salespeople will answer sales executive, sales intern. You get it? But they are not. Your president is number one salesperson in the political arena, but he doesn't answer a salesperson, but he's the chief campaigner during the election. He has to buy people's vote, he has to get their buy-in into his agenda. You get what I'm saying? So these are important that you know them. So win price before control. So frame yourself as an advisor. Don't have any place. So you're a wealth advisor. You are using consultant before, beautiful, but the business terrain keeps evolving, and when it evolves, you have to evolve. So you don't say how many plots do you want. Remember, an advisor is different. So if you're an advisor, you're going to do a lot of things different. So you don't say things like how many plots do you want? Obasinachi is the best thing that has happened after Megusi soup. How many plots do you want? No. So, but you can look at which acquisition plan makes the most financial sense for you. Things like that, depending on the person. So, what's your age? What's your plan? What do you want to achieve with this? So, you have to know your onions. You have to understand the intricacies of what the project can do for the person. So, let's see which acquisition plan, because people can be on the acquisition plan. Someone can be able to cough out £1 billion to do a project today, to buy into 3 or 4 projects today, right? He can have the financial capability to do 100 million a month, right? But that same, there can also be another person that may only have the financial capacity to do 2 million per month, but he's consistent enough to do that 2 million for 3 years per month, and he can be able to still build a solid portfolio. So you now see, so which acquisition plan makes the most financial sense for your long-term portfolio? What type of portfolio are you looking at to build in your real estate journey? Are you planning to build a short-term portfolio? Are you trying to build a cash flow portfolio? You have to be able to present this. Okay? So when your weapon here is you guide the decision of the client. Your weapon is to be able to guide the decision of the client. And when you're able to guide the decision of the potential client, you absorb authority. You absorb authority to advise. You absorb authority to be able to to navigate and give him the product that suits him. And always remember, you cannot deceive all the people all the time, right? You can deceive some of the people some of the time, but with integrity in the industry, your name will speak for you. And at a point, you just don't need to run ads, you don't need to do anything. Products that are good for people, you must tell them this product is good for you. He's a young man. Products that will yield him in 5, 4, 6, 10 years are the best fit for him. He may not go for products that may yield the next year, but time is in his favor. So you can give him products that will maximize his money over time, right? So another weapon you have, you remember we said you have decision guide that can drive you authority, right? Then another one is what we call yes, you're able to guide investment frameworks. What I mean is, oh, we can be doing 2 plots per year. Don't forget it. We're doing 2 plots per year, okay? So because of we're doing 2 plots per year, you can tell the client we're doing 2 plots per year. So every year we're going to do 2 plots, and in the 10th year, was that first plot, that first land we bought in the 10th year, what are we going to do with it? We're going to sell one and use it to build on the other. Because the one we bought 10 years ago, the place must have developed. And you see, now so you can design a type of framework, or it can be, we can do that, and maybe it was an educational fund that you are trying to fund, right? And you said, okay, by the time you're buying these plots, because every birthday, when others go and splash money on their children's birthday, you're just buying lands for them. And when it's time for them to go to Harvard or to go to Ivy League schools, or they're just in some good universities that you want them to go to, or fund their education. You don't have to sweat, you don't have to put your blood into it. You just pick one property and you sell and you send them to school. Or the plan could be, oh, I'm doing this property because once I'm 45, I want to be going on vacation with my family. And that's okay. And if the guy is 45, it can be when he's 55, he can be taking a vacation once or twice a year without sweating anything. You get, and that can be the framework you can paint depending on what matters to the client. Remember, that's why selling is 90% listening. Okay. That. Oh, my frame is having some technical glitch. Okay. So so that helps us. So that's the about the investment framework. So it helps the buyer. What does it help the buyer do? You help the buyer trust your judgment, right? It helps you to be able to trust your judgment. There are different frameworks that really works, right? Depending on what the person is trying to fund and what is the person's life goal. But the goal is to be able to that this can move this person from point one to point two, and if he continues that, he can move from point two to what? Who knows? To point 100. Don't forget it. Yes, which acquisition plan makes enough sense for your financial portfolio? So you now x-ray those plans. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Right? Yeah. And then always be able to show data. Every area has its own data. Every area, I repeat, every area has its own data. Every area has its own market data. And you must be able to show the buyer the data. What I mean by the data is, now, if you use Lagos, for instance, you see how movement have moved, how development have moved towards the corridor, have moved from the VI corridor to Lekki to Aja to Aja, then I think to Songotedo, and it's moving towards it, right? And then if you move to Asaba, you see how it moved from the corridor from maybe it up Anam Road to Ibuzo, and it just keeps moving, right? So you have to be able to show them the data. Okay, 5 years ago, this place that was 5 minutes away from this city center, the proposed city center at that time was selling a so and so amount of money, right? And then today, look at how much it's selling, which you can go and verify. So this place that is currently 5 minutes away from this current city center that is now the new city center, where people normally congregate more at night, right? How what is the percentage of people? What is the time it takes? So how much do you think this place will be worth in 5 years? Priced in inflation. So that is important. Don't forget it, because data, you say, my friend will say, I trust in God, but in every other thing, you must provide me data. So he always cracks that as a joke that he trusts in God, but in every other thing, you must provide him data. And then I have this saying that if you beat data enough, it will begin to sink, right? That meaning that if you keep crunching the numbers, if you keep examining the numbers, at a point it will start singing. What I mean is that at a point it will start speaking to you, right? So give them the data. So the what will happen is that the buyer will feel smart and he will feel early. He will just know he's doing the right thing, right? So always remember that. Always remember that. Always remember that. So the third point I want you to know is something we call um okay, before that, the in this win before price, remember you have to win emotionally to be able to transfer the emotions, right? So you need to know, is the interest of the buyer long term or short term? You must know that. Is the interest of the buyer short term or long term? There are people that want land flipping. That is why there are different terminologies in real estate. There are different terminologies in everywhere. Now, someone that wants to do land flipping, I want something for 2 years and I will sell it off, right? Or he wants something, his kids are 3 years and he wants something that he will use to send them to college when they are 16, or to university, that's university when they are 16. The guy has roughly 13 years, right? So that now tells you he has a bit of a long-term horizon, just a bit of a long-term horizon. Why someone that wants to hand the land over to his grandchildren, and he may not have kids yet, so he's looking at 30 years time to gift it to his grandchild. What do you think about that? Now, those are different classes of persons, right? or someone that, oh, he's in his 30s, but he already is in his early 30s and is making investments for himself when he's what, 60, so that he has retirement, what he can retire on. And there's still another guy that is buying this land because he wants to sell it in 3 years and buy a Benz. Don't forget. And those are the majority of people that you meet. Because if you think it's a lie, remember when any Ponzi launches, they want to get high return on investment every month, right? December is here and people are going to do a lot of fast schemes. They're going to invest 3 million naira and they're going to pack 4.5 in 1 month. And the rest we know will be premium tiers, right? Right. So let's proceed, right? So is their interest short-term profit, long-term wealth positioning, or legacy ownership? So have this golden question that you always ask because you're an advisor and you must have them in your tool so that the client will think. Remember, your job as an advisor is to get the answer from the person. Yes, when you meet the doctor would examine you and you will diagnose yourself for him because he will keep asking you, are you having headache? Then you are the ones to be saying yes and yes. You get it? Maybe you didn't give him the whole symptom. So remember, I want you to write it down. Always ask, is your interest short-term profit, long-term wealth positioning, or legacy ownership? There are different things. And to each one, his own. To each malam, his kettle. None is better than the other, right? Depending on the position of the off taker. Because remember, in wealth creation, it has two legs. Yes, it has the margin generation leg and it has the profit generation leg. It has business income and it has investment income. So, to always know, always ask this question: is your interest short-term profit, long-term wealth positioning, or legacy ownership? So this will make the buyer feel they are entering wealth strategy and they are not buying land. And that is your goal. Your goal is to shift the goalpost. Your goal is always to shift the goalpost, shift their mental goalpost. Because when you shift their mental goalpost, they can aim and they can stretch for more. And remember what is a goal? Their, a goal is something that should stretch you. You should stretch them. If someone is comfortable with putting down 10 plots in his name per year, that means the person has the capacity to put down 15% if there's a stretch. But what do you know what that means? It means that he's going to retire far earlier than he would have if he was doing 20, and he'll have more abundant life. So remember that question. I hope you wrote it down. I hope you wrote it down. Is your interest short-term profit, long-term wealth position, or legacy ownership? Right? Because the goal is to get the people in the position that they understand what they are doing and that it's in the long, if for their long-term wealth preservation. Now, the third one that makes outstanding the top 1% of salespeople is what we call follow up psychology. Now, some very low people in the bottom of the the bottom 80% of salespeople think that follow up is disturbing the client. Yes, they say, "Oh, I'm disturbing him. He may get offended," because they have a wrong follow up psychology. So now, a follow up psychology I want you to imitate is because the 1%, the top 1% don't. They don't say, "Hey, sir, hi, sir, I'm just checking up on you." No, they resell the vision every touch point. At every touch point, they resell the vision. They resell the vision. They resell the vision. They resell the vision. They don't say, I'm checking up on you. So invariably, there's a system to resell the vision. Yes. So I'm going to give you that system. And one of the system is value insight, social proof, I'm trying to write it down again so that I can encourage you to write it down again. Then reminder of future advantage. So so in that three, there are three systems that comprises of the follow-up of the top 1%. Value insight, social proof. Oh, this was the client that bought from us. See, oh, we're just dispatching deed of the people that got some properties from us. Right? Reminder of future advantage. Oh, these people that bought the other time, they have been allocated. See the allocation video. Oh, when these people bought this land, it wasn't like this. See how this place has been cleared and there is road. Just like there's a lot of bulldozers and payloaders, all manner of heavy machineries in the site, right? Now, and that is what reminder of future advantage. Reminder of what? Future advantage. Value insight. Oh, this is what you get. Don't forget. Oh, I had this guy, he just picked up his document, and that is it. Social proof. This is what our clients have to say about us. Now, winning, why this matters is every follow-up must contain these three systems: value insight, social proof, reminder of future advantage. People forget easily. You know the number of things you've had that you've forgotten. So how do you think they still remember? Always try to remember and remind them. Hi. Instead of saying hi, just checking up. You can say hi, chief. Do you remember when Lakey plots were 400K and they later became 150 million? He will say, oh, the place you're selling is not Lakey. You say, yes. But also remember, we had this estate that is Aqua Batago that was selling for 5 million. He's selling for 12 million. We had this estate that was Prime View that was 5 million. He's selling for 40 million. Do you get it? Asaba is at the early. So, okay, let me just give us a framework because I wrote a framework down so you can get the full framework. So instead of saying, hi, sir, just checking in, you can say, hi, chief. Do you remember when Lakey plots were selling for 400K and became 150 million? Asaba is the same is in that same early growth curve now. And those who positioned early became kings later. I am locking in 2 units for clients today. I'm locking in 2 plots for clients today. Should I reserve one for you as well? Should I reserve one for you as well? Okay. Now, what this type of statement is, you're reminding them that. So, in summary of how this looks like, you see, you're showing them the value inside. You're showing them that there's a social proof that this has happened somewhere that you and I know. All right, and that those that clocked in early became what? Became kings later. They became landlords. They became the controllers of the rental space in that area, and the rent was able to fund their dream life while every other person were running around to meet up 10 million naira yearly payment for maybe 3 or 4 bedroom apartment in a shared compound. And someone was somewhere collecting 100 million from these guys because he came in early. So what this type of behavior, what does it do? It triggers FOMO. It triggers authority because you are following up on him and you are reminding him, see, oh, this place I'm telling you that is selling for 5 million now. Sorry, that is selling for 10 million now, right? Excuse me. Can be this and can be that. So it also helps you to exert authority and it brings on FOMO and then compression of time and urgency. So it will turn your follow-up into what alert, not disturbance. So mostly after your follow-up, you know what happens? You get alert from 1 or 2 persons because you're getting, because remember what your follow-up is normally ending with. I'm locking 2 plots today for clients. Should I reserve for you as well? Should I? So another thing you always look to gauge demand outside the scope, right? If the man is a constant traveler, ask him, look at the flight traffic into Asaba, flight. And funny enough, I've used this to gauge how people come into the city for a long time, even before I landed. Just from instance, that when you see more flights entering into a city, it shows that more wealthy people are coming in. And when they come in, sooner or later, they like the place and they will want to get one or two things for themselves. Right? So look at flight traffic into Asaba. Look at the diasporans, the number of diasporan people that are now having projects here. And then, because wealthy people always move ahead of infrastructure, the masses will move after. Remember the saying I said I like, Mark Twain, that find out where the people are going, get there before them. Hmm? That's Mark Twain quote. So always let the person know we're positioning before the crowd. That is, you look at the flight traffic into Asaba, look at the diaspora buying. Huh? Wealthy people always move. Look at the airport expansion. The airport was recently fenced so they could expand it and do the right thing within it and make it an international airport, right? The masses always come after. And these are key indices. Very key, subtle but key. So this will shift the buyers from thinking they are spenders, but they think of themselves as investors keen into a movement. And that is your goal. And when you achieve that, I think you have achieved that. Remember, you won't get rich selling land. I will repeat it. You will not get rich selling land. I will not get rich selling land, right? If you get rich in this profession, and those that have gotten rich in this profession, they get rich by selling the future. They get rich by selling the future. They get rich by selling the future. They get rich by selling the future and the identity. The future and the identity, right? The future and the identity. So always remember, sell the future narrative, be an advisor, train up the realtor in your, become a wealth advisor, and then treat every client as an advisor. And you know what will happen? They will flow more and more into your bosom. It's a beautiful day, and I wish we'd learn this and stick it to heart, and most importantly, apply it. Okay. So I want to leave us here, and if I have questions, I'll be glad to take them in the next 5 minutes so we can rest. I said I was going to do 30 minutes. I've done 30 minutes and 6 minutes. So please remember what we talked about. We talked about three basic things. I would like to take questions. I would like to know if there are any gray areas in what I've been able to show us. I would also want to get feedbacks where you're able to pick one or two things that you've not been doing and how you can implement on it. Because the basics of what we learn is that we can use it to have an improved outcome. If there is no approved outcome, the learning, we have wasted the learning has been a waste. Okay. So the media team, you can be on standby. So let me know. Were you able to pick anything from the section? Were you able to, you have practical things you can implement? And because the faster you implement it, the quicker it sticks. Yeah. Hearing is 10% of the job. I think when we discuss, it becomes 20%. When you practice, it tends to be 50%. So, guys, it was nice having you. Um, I hope you've been able to learn something, and I really do hope that you do get on to a better life. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. It was an amazing section. You said 30 minutes, but I must confess, this 30 minutes is power loaded. Thank you so much, sir. We learned a whole lot. Wow. Wow. I believe from the comments I'm seeing here, I believe that every one of us will learn something new today. And many of us are guilty of thinking that following up is kind of disturbance to the client. But today, we learned something differently. Thank you so much, Sir Benedict Obiajulu, for always pouring out your heart when you're teaching us. You are an amazing person. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. If your if your friend or your team member is not here, please kindly remind them to rewatch this video later. And also, please, if you're here, give this video a thumbs up, share the link, and make other people to see what we are doing here. This information, the kind of information that people need in, so especially salespeople need in a time like this. So please kindly give this video a thumbs up, and also remember that our fiscal meeting is going to be holding this Friday at our office, opposite Government House, Justime Plaza, opposite Government House, Anwine Road. Please, if you're within the city of Asaba or its environs, please kindly make sure that you are part of what we are doing. Remember, we say at Latera, we are building a community of wealthy people, and I believe you're one of us. All right. So, next Tuesday, okay, I mean, Upper Tuesday, we're going to be having another training online. Please kindly be part of what we are doing. Thank you so much for being part of us. And if you're going to be coming across this video later, you're not joining live now, you're going to coming across this video later, please kindly leave a comment so that we'll know that you are here. We appreciate you and thank you for being part of what we are doing. Do have a good night's rest, everyone. Remember, don't fall asleep. Go to sleep. If you still have some routine, some night routine that you have not done, please kindly do them before you sleep. Thank you and do have a good night rest. We love you. Bye.